Yo, what's up, everybody at home? This is the Good and Terrible Show. We're here with another episode of our Black Home Chronicles. Terrible.
I was about to say, and we damn so terrible.
Oh man.
Keep your head up, boy. Guess what? We did this episode.
Does that sound okay with you?
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah.
You gotta check it out. We're gonna be having some real funny stuff. This is our funniest episode yet. And hey, this show gonna be fire.
All right, we're recording.
Look, here's my issue with sour cream. Okay,
Elaborate.
it's too overpowered because niggas don't know when to say enough. Sour cream. Niggas be slathering sour cream all over their burritos, tacos, quesadillas, all that. And it's overpowered. And then you only taste the sour cream. Sour cream by itself is not that good. You only need just a little bit of a splash of sour cream. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Anything more than just a little splash is too much. Throw the plate away.
If the container was this size, this is how much sour cream that you would want.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Like a Blitz stick.
Something about a Bliss Steaks. That's a good measurement.
Yeah.
Anything more than a Bliss Steaks, throw the whole plate away. I don't want it.
Me, I would need 2 of these to get busy.
Nah, nigga. It's too much.
I would need 2 of these.
You probably be boo-booing immediately after.
Don't worry about what I do, okay? Girls don't boo-boo, okay?
Straight mud butt. Get the hell they don't. Some of the nastiest bathrooms I've ever been in been female bathrooms, yo. Niggas, this is why niggas always get the reputation. Guys always get the reputation for being messy and nasty and then gross and all that stuff. It really be girls. Girls be some of the nastiest people I've ever seen, yo.
I'm not going to say there are some women that are nasty, but I don't associate with them. Nor
I know a lot of women who will, if it's like a public bathroom, who will rather use the men's public bathroom than the women's public bathroom because y'all be so trifling when it comes to the public. Before. Oh yeah.
And if the coast was clear, I was like, the men's women might just be like pee on the floor.
Exactly. That's the most they're gonna do because some niggas can't aim. You know.
A little urine ain't gonna hurt nobody. A little urine ain't never hurt nobody.
Girls be having all type of stuff, bloody.
See, that's the part, right? That's
hair balls and everything.
It's because of the cycles that we all have to experience. We have to be extra careful about how we clean up. But if you're not taught these things and you're not trained, you don't know.
Kill these tacos.
You ate those already?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And matter of fact, that's what she said. And I got some flautas. I don't even know what flautas is, but it sounded good on the menu. I trust Mexican people with most of the food that they make.
Yeah, they're my people.
Shout out to all the amigos out there.
You said them amigos?
No, all the amigos. All the amigos.
Oh, I thought you said mumigos. I'm like,
no, shout out to all the amigos. Hernan, Jose, Cortez,
don't do that.
Miguel, all of you.
It's definitely some Mexican people.
Antonio.
It's definitely some Mexican people with black names. I know it is.
Oh hell yeah, Vincente. I'm like, nigga, that's Vincent.
No, I'm saying like Jamal. There's definitely a Jamal in Mexico. I know it is.
Nah, they Dominican. Because Dominicans are basically black, but
No, I'm saying Mexico. I'm not saying So flautas is it flour and some tomato?
Think about like
it looks scrumptious.
Little short fat what are they called? Taquitos.
Oh, I think I've had those. I didn't know what they were called. Okay.
Flautas.
You gotta say it with the
flautas.
I know, guys, I sound like I have food in my mouth, but it's actually my retainers. New teeth, who this? Hold on, look. Yeah. Teeth Sweat, aka Teeth Keith.
Right.
6 racks on a smile. Something small, nothing big.
Shout out to Teeth Mill over there.
Teeth Mill. I'll be Teeth Mill next episode.
Hold on, wait a minute. Don't I need a dentist?
When I got those veneers, y'all thought they was rented? What? Niggas renting veneers?
When y'all thought my teeth was crooked, I got them all straightened.
Listen, man, it was probably the best decision I've ever made as far as like spending that amount of money. But the pain of taking them off was way worse than getting them on. I have no idea why that is, but it was definitely more painful taking them off. I was like, bruh, just leave them. I was like, we could just leave them on. Don't do that. But no, definitely, you thinking about getting braces, don't let the stigmatism of, oh, I'm too old. So what? I'm in my early 30s and I had braces and I was not concerned. Yeah, because people try to shame you like, oh, you got braces. No one said that to me because they knew better. But I'm just saying, I feel like there's a stigmatism about correcting certain things at a certain age. And
hold on. We're not about to slide past the fact that you just said there's a stigmatism.
I did say that. I meant stereotype.
Nigga. That means you like blind in the eye or something like that.
You got a stigmatism in your teeth. I definitely said that. I promise you.
Shout out to Mickey Smiley over there.
I promise you that I know what the word means and I didn't mean to say. But no, don't let the.
Oh my gosh, that was fantastic.
Sounds like you need a cigarette. You good over there, man?
I'm still hungry, bro.
You ain't get those.
I got some tortilla chips.
Listen, I cannot have quesadillas and tacos without tortilla chips and guacamole. It's not a meal.
I pass on the guacamole. That's all you.
You don't like guacamole?
Rarely. I won't say I don't like guacamole. That's a stretch. I'm content if I don't have it.
And I'm the opposite of where I cannot eat, like even quesadillas. Sour cream.
A lot of people's guacamole ain't that good. There's only been like a handful of people's guacamole that I was like, yeah, this is where it's at.
I know one person in particular, they don't be busting. It's not a restaurant, but there are certain restaurants that make it really good, and certain ones that's like,
if you want overhyped. But I hate the taste of avocado too. Like
just plain avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the most. Without all the cilantro, the onion powder, garlic, it's not the best. Like how people have like avocado toast. I never was a fan of that. It's a little bit too unseasoned for me.
Let's say it white people stuff.
I don't want to say that because I know black people that eat that, but I'm just saying.
You like two of them.
No, it's a lot of black people that eat.
No, it ain't a lot. It's like a few.
No, everybody,
they had to stop their Juneteenth celebration at like 6 p.m. They weren't allowed to celebrate all day.
Somebody tweeted, if you mix, you got to stop celebrating Juneteenth at 12 p.m. I said, yo, what is wrong?
Just move on to Father's Day at that point.
It was like, just skip over to the next day. I'm like, how you gonna tell somebody their blackness expires at a certain
if they 50%, I feel like the amount of your celebration should be the percent you are. You got to hop on Ancestry.com first.
Right.
And the percentage that you get.
Whatever it's
I learned, well, it wasn't my result, it was my sister's result, but we got, the same parents, so I figured it was basically the same thing. But anyways, her thing said that we had like, I think 22 or 23% European or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which didn't really surprise me because I feel like between, my hair and my forehead, there's probably some Caucasian somewhere in there. But,
not necessarily. Because you got
so I'll celebrate for like 80% of the day.
You stupid. I feel like most, I won't say all that. You can't say all. I would say at least especially for us born in America, I feel like if all our ancestors were born either here in the U.S. or like you can kind of trace back to your lineage as far as from slavery, we all got a little bit of European in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, my last name is Brown.
Yeah, but
and yours is Ford.
Right.
Come on, slavery all day.
Built for tough. That's the slave master's name.
Right.
Master's name was Ford. But yeah, I think that the celebration, you shouldn't. I can't tell somebody like, oh, you can't celebrate all day. If you're
gonna celebrate all day, you gotta wake up late because you gotta make up an hour some type of way.
Some people were joking, and some people took it like, oh yeah, y'all can't be. What you celebrate Juneteenth? Your dad's black with your mom. Like,
people OD with it. If you black, you black.
Other people's blackness. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Let's focus on ourselves.
Yeah, unless you're Candace Owens. Like she.
Oh my God. You ever just look at her dead on and be like, I know why you mad. Like when you just look at a picture of her, you like, I see why you angry.
I feel like she was the type that didn't have like other black female friends to tell her when her wig was wrong.
No.
Or her weave was bad. You know what I'm saying?
She still doesn't. Because I've seen her on plenty of occasions and I was like, you don't have no black friends, do you? No black girlfriends?
I don't think so. And
if you do,
a lot of us at the Republican rallies, you know.
I won't say that because there are, but
There's a few. There's not a lot of us.
She don't have. Yeah, she's just, to me, I feel like she clout chases a lot with the stuff that she says. Like what she said about Juneteenth, she was like, "Oh, I don't understand." I tell her I'm July 4th all the way. Like,
I feel like
if you love Master, just say that. Why you
well, two things. Number one, I feel like the majority of black Republicans that I've ever seen, both in person or on TV or online or whatever, have like military backgrounds. Because military is a strong, like the military in general is usually a strong, Republican type of clique. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of them have that type of background. And number two, unpopular opinion, I'm gonna just throw it out there. I think black people should celebrate both Juneteenth and July 4th.
Oh, okay.
I think we should celebrate both. Number one, because I like to drink. But number two, because if you think about it, yeah, we weren't technically free on July 4th, 1776.
No.
But remember who brought us over here? It wasn't America, right? We came over here long before it was called, United States of America. We came over here when it was the British Empire. You know what I'm saying? It was the British people that brought us over here. You know what I'm saying? The British people, the French people, the Spanish people that colonized America that had brought us over.
The Americas.
Right, the Americas.
Yeah.
It was Europeans. So, when they became the United States of America, we weren't free, but who knows if we'd even still be free if we had remained under the rule of Britain at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like if the American Revolution never happened, like how do we know as black people that we'd even be free today? You know what I mean? We could still be slaves if we were still under the British Empire.
Probably. Yeah.
I just be thinking a little deeper,
If I see why you say that, because just like because Nat Turner's rebellion had how many, I don't remember the numbers, but it was like it was his entire plantation, but it was other people that joined up with him, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember right. But at the same time, that would have had to happen, like how Haiti freed themselves. They was like, nah, we're not doing this. We're gonna kill all the white people.
Right.
Y'all gonna be out of here. We're gonna take this country back. It would have had to be to that level of we're gonna get ourselves out of this, versus it being like you said, like because and that's the other thing too that I get upset.
Nat Turner's rebellion was in the 1800s anyway.
Right, but I'm not saying that would have ended slavery. I'm saying something like that, but on the scale of the entire Confederacy, like, yo,
yeah,
we gonna break out next Tuesday, 2:00. We said no.
And it wasn't even just the Confederacy. A lot of people, that's another misconception. A lot of people think just because the North was the ones fighting against slavery. Doesn't mean everybody in the North was against it. There was people that owned slaves in the North too, in a bunch of states. Delaware, like the tiniest nothing state, ain't nobody care about Delaware. Delaware was a big slave state, you know.
Delaware was up here just Delaware and like, oh yeah, come here, nigga. Like, I'm up north. No, you're not.
If you go to Delaware to this day, this is how small Delaware is as a state. There's 3 counties in Delaware. 3.
I thought it was only 2.
3. This is the top, this is the middle, and this is the bottom. All right, the top is where most of the niggas are. To be honest, if we being real, that's where Wilmington is, and Newark and all that stuff. Yeah.
I got family up there. That's how I know.
You know what I'm saying? The middle county is where like Dover and everything is. You know what I'm saying? And then the bottom county is all white people. Like
what's the bottom county? Is that
I think it's Sussex County, if I'm not mistaken, but they call it the slower lower because it's mostly farmland. Ain't no city or nothing down there. It's all farmland and everything. Like you got to drive through a lot of that to get to like the beaches, like Rehoboth Beach and Dewey Beach, whatever.
I've never been to,
but that's on the edge. The whole rest of that county, when I drove through there, nothing but Trump signs. I'm telling you.
You was like, let me get my black ass
in Delaware. I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to get to the beach. Like
I'm just trying to go have fun. I'm just here so I don't die. I just
when you get to the beach, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? They're cool out there. You know what I'm saying?
But
that whole middle ground before you get to the beach,
it ain't it.
Yeah, that's not a place I really want to be at.
Yeah, I've never been to Rehoboth. I've been to Newcastle hundreds of times. I've been to Wilmington hundreds of times. To visit family, but like you said, you see white people in Wilmington and Newcastle, but it's a lot of niggas, a lot of us.
Yeah, because if you think about it, it's right. It's like the midpoint between Philly and Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? It's right up that 95, that highway. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people move out there to Delaware because no state tax and all that, and it's cheaper to live out there because there's nothing really going on out there. But it's just
like you don't want to be there, but you're like,
Wilmington isn't that terrible of a city. You know what I mean? They got some like nice little cool spots. It's a little chill environment. Now I will say a lot of people sleep on Wilmington. Wilmington got hoods too. Don't sleep because it's Delaware. Like people,
I know.
Be careful where y'all going at night in Wilmington, in some places.
I've been in some of them, and I was like, my niggas just were telling me to get the fuck out of here.
Basically. And 5 points. 5 points if you can name the state that Nat Turner's rebellion was in.
Okay.
Everybody at home, we testing Mickey's Black History Month knowledge.
You only doing this because I'm light skinned and you trying to see how much I know.
A little bit, yeah.
This is a colorist test. I know that it's not Georgia. I want to say Florida or was it Georgia?
This is sad, everybody at home. I just want you to know this.
Don't do that. I know, well, if I say something dumb, I know it was hot there. Like, duh, it's always hot in the South. It was Louisiana?
Final answer?
Can you give me a hint?
Nope.
Come on. You gotta give me a hint.
Wow, I gotta give you a hint.
Because
this is something you should know. Being in 30 years of this earth in your black body.
AP history in 11th and 12th grade, and
you ain't see the movie? You ain't see the movie?
No, I never watch. I don't watch it. I do not partake in.
All right, I'll give you a hint. You're gonna be mad as hell when you hear the state.
Okay.
That's the hint.
You said I give you a hint. You didn't say nothing.
That is the hint. I just gave you the hint.
You said me be mad when I hear the state.
Yeah. That's the hint.
It is Florida. No, it's not.
Come on, man. 5 seconds. Come on.
It's Georgia, man. Damn, it's Georgia.
Final answer.
Yes.
Wrong.
What is it?
It's Virginia.
You are right now. How Wait, I don't know that.
I was about to say she from Virginia, y'all. She mad. That's why I said she was gonna be mad as hell.
Wow. And I could have been like, what?
Everybody at home is just they stop they Juneteenth electric slide to look at you with judgment and shame.
Wow.
All the ancestors are just pissed off at you.
Shut the front door.
That's why I be making light skin jokes with Mickey.
You know what? I'm gonna take all of them for the rest of the year because oh snap. So
oh my gosh.
it was in Southampton County, which is of course nowhere near where we.
No, it's Southern Virginia. It's
down there.
It's like west of the 757 area.
Yeah, because
south of Richmond. It's like under like way under Richmond.
It's all the parts of Virginia that you don't want to. You wouldn't still want to drive through. Like all of these joints sound racist as shit. Sedley, Cortland, Caperone, Druryville. Yeah. Wow, fam.
I've been through some of them parts actually.
I have too. I've been through Emporia to go to North Carolina before, which is close to Southampton, but that's crazy, yo. Hey, yo, you know what? I can't say nigga for the next week because I just lost my
come hold this L. Come hold this L real quick.
Hey, listen, man. I accept defeat when it's
that's sad. That is sad.
I'm very embarrassed right now. Because I should know that because I live in the state and I in this state. And
anyways,
wait, no, I'm gonna elaborate on this. So why I should know this. I specifically remember learning about the rebellion when I was in 4th or 5th grade.
Everybody learned about it.
Yeah, but they told us to say, and it just I was like, I know it was in the South. It was hot.
This is why you should have watched the movie.
The last movie I watched about slavery was probably Amistad.
I don't know if I ever watched that whole one.
My mom had us watch it.
I saw it.
I did not watch Birth of a Nation. I did not watch.
But I mean, I think I saw the actual Amistad. Like it was. I can't remember if it was the actual Amistad or like a replica of it. They had it in New Jersey once when me and my family went out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camden.
What other slave movies came out? Like Harriet Tubman. I didn't
12
watch
Years
that.
a Slave.
I
didn't see the Harriet Tubman one. I wanted to watch the Harriet Tubman one because I like what's her name? I like Cynthia Erivo's singing voice.
Mm-hmm. I know she did an excellent job, and I'm not one of those people that's like I'm not against it, but for me, the trauma of watching it can be too much. Like I heard in 12 Years a Slave certain scenes, or no, in Birth of a Nation, and it turned my stomach. Like I did not like Django. I almost literally like vomited. And I was like, I cannot watch
Django. It wasn't bad.
I did not like it. I love Quentin Tarantino. Again, the movie, for those who enjoyed it, was
I'm iffy about Quentin Tarantino. Like, don't get me wrong. I like some of his movies. I love the Kill Bill movies. I love the Magnificent Seven remake that he did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm
a Pulp Fiction girl myself.
Kill Bill. I liked Pulp Fiction. I thought it was overhyped, but I liked it.
It's a lot going on.
But I'd be iffy about Quentin Tarantino because I feel like he gets a little too loose with letting white people just say nigga freely in his movies.
He does.
You know what I mean?
And in Django, it became very clear that y'all be letting this white boy say nigga a lot.
But at least that's the one movie that I was still mad, don't get me wrong. But at least in context, I gave it a slight pass because I was like, it's a slavery movie. So they said, they said nigga all the time back then. You know what I'm saying? But in Pulp Fiction, in like the middle, what was that? California? Where was that?
California.
Yeah, it was in like LA or something like that. I'm like in 1980s or 1990s LA and all these, you know what I mean? It was just like this is wild. He's just dropping on them bombs.
He was sprinkling like throw a little nigga in there.
Yeah, I really feel like that's what he was just writing the script and he was just like, you know what? This page 3 needs a nigga on it. Like,
are there any niggas on page 17? Let's add 2. Put him in. Like what? You don't need that.
Right.
I think that for me, the reason why I don't like watching them, but it's just other things that I watch. Like I watch them, still same level of traumatized, right? But
Which one
I
was
think
them?
them is the Amazon Prime series with the black family that
Oh, I saw a commercial for that. I ain't seen it.
bro, that shit is probably one of the best series I've ever seen. Um, the direction, cost, like everything, like to a T. But there's disturbing stuff. And when you see other black people being targeted and you know that stuff really happened, it bothers me on a level of I feel like I'm watching my family, which they are my family because they're my people, but it feels like
You're
I'm
reliving
watching.
the trauma.
I'm reliving the trauma, but it's like I can't do it. That's why I didn't like Django. The scene of Django that made me like sick was the Mandingo fighting, and also the scene where the dogs like ripped up they fed the slaves to the. Oh, I was just like, and it again. I know that those things happen. I'm not one of those people that's like, well, that never happened. No, I know those things happen. It bothered me because I can't do anything about it. Like you said, you're reliving it, and it's just like it's trauma. And there's people that like I'm not judging people that enjoyed the movie because it was a good movie, but it was the scenes where I know that those things took place. I know they happened, and it happened way worse than the way we saw it in the movie was like PG compared to the things that happened.
Right. I
So
feel like that way
it's
too with a lot of those movies.
it's sick. I can't watch.
And to me, it's also like that for a lot of civil rights movies too. I feel like it started.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid. What's the movie? The movie about like when Medgar Evers got shot. I feel like Whoopi Goldberg or somebody like that was in there. I don't know, but
I can't remember the name.
there was a movie. Hold on, let me Google that real quick.
Yeah.
It was a movie. I remember when Medgar Evers. And I remember the scene like when he got shot too. Ghost of Mississippi. That's what it was. Came out in 1996. I remember that movie.
Look at the trailer.
That was traumatizing too. I hated watching that movie, especially like that scene, because he got shot like in front of his house, if I remember correctly.
Ghost of Mississippi.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was in that movie. Yeah, and
Look at the
that like stuff like that was real traumatizing to me. So even to this day,
I've never seen this. They got James Woods, Alec Baldwin. So was it a not documentary, like a bio pick on movie?
Kinda, yeah.
You know what movie also was like that, which I love the movie, but I won't rewatch it, is Mississippi Burning. With Samuel Jackson, when they raped the KKK men, picked up his daughter. His daughter was like 9 years old, and they raped her, and they literally ruptured her uterus. Like, and again, they don't show it to it. It wasn't as graphic like as Django was. This movie came on in the 90s too, so it was a different time where they wouldn't show stuff that graphic, but they show it to the point where they talk about it, and just hearing that, and again, you relive it in your head, and how many other young girls and boys were raped. You know what I mean? And stuff happens to them that no one ever knows about. You know what I mean? Like they literally died, and nobody. That's the part that it's like a personal like trauma that I don't like to see.
Really,
There's a I definitely think if you could stomach those movies, you probably can watch them. The only part of them that I did not watch, which is the most traumatizing part, I had my mother tell me what happened, but I didn't want to see it. I didn't want it to replay in my head. Like she told me what happened, and even hearing it, I was like, okay. Like I don't want to hear it no more. That's the only part I didn't watch. But I know you've probably heard people say that we should do less movies about slavery and more movies about pre-slavery.
Black people winning.
Us in love stories that doesn't involve trauma. The mother
all types
and
of stuff.
The father being
like regular normal movies that you see all the time, just put black people as main characters so we can see their representation.
Yes.
And I'm glad we're segueing in there because I feel like we were kind of going down a dark path and spending a lot of time on that. But anyways, everybody, all you miscreants and lowlifes out there, and also all you beautiful people of all shades and all colors and everything. Welcome back to the Good and Terrible Show. We are back here. This is your boy Trevor McFly, aka Drip Bayless, and that is Teeth Sweat, aka Teeth Keith, aka Teeth Mill, aka aka whatever you want to, Mickey Smiley. You know what I mean? So we had a little hiatus, and now we are back. And today is all about Juneteenth, as everybody knows, unless you're living under a rock. Juneteenth is the first new federal holiday to be added to our schedule since Martin Luther King Day back in the 1980s. So I actually am pretty proud of the fact that the last two new federal holidays that have been added are both centered around African Americans. That is a positive thing, and we are going to talk about the impacts and what we think about Juneteenth and our reaction to what's going on in America with the addition of Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, I am very, very happy, very, very proud. It is a very positive thing. I don't want to take anything away from it. I'm very glad that it is a national holiday now and that we get the day off as well. But even if we didn't, I'm glad that it's a holiday to begin with, and it got added as a very positive thing. No shade to that. I'm certainly not going to say anything negative about it being added as a holiday.
Right.
However,
comma.
we all love comma. There we go. Semicolon. Since we love controversy here at the Good and Terrible Show, I would like to say that it still don't solve nothing. It don't solve nothing. We got an extra day off. But so do white people. So it's really, it's the same. It's just, So
I wasn't alone about white people having the day off and me getting mad. Like, nah, go to work. This not your day. This is not your day.
At least that would have been a little bit more satisfactory.
4th of July is for you. Enjoy your potato salad with raisins and croutons in it, and let us have Juneteenth and enjoy ourselves. It's not for you, okay? But I guess you can't discriminate it because it's like
we do still celebrate July 4th. We still do get the day off for July 4th as well. So, well, I'm just saying, I mean, like we get the day off. That's what I mean.
We deserve it. We ain't getting no reparations. You damn right. I must still have a day off. That's
right.
To do.
They're like, forget all the reparations. Forget the George Floyd bill not passing. Forget the critical race theory that we're still banning in our schools across America.
Right.
Let's just give them a day off and they'll be all right.
They'll be fine.
And then they mad that we still complaining.
They're like, just give the niggas a day off. They'll be good with that. They just wink. And there's some nigga in the room like, yeah.
This feels very similar to like when all them politicians got on national TV with them Kente claws and was kneeling for like Colin Kaepernick or whatever.
It was Nancy Pelosi. It was a whole slew. I was like, what?
I just want to know who bought them the Kente claws. Where did they know how to buy one? Did they just go on Amazon?
I guarantee you, somebody went on Amazon Prime. And that's the other part. You didn't even get it from a black business. I guarantee you it wasn't a black vendor on Amazon. They went to like Sarah's Kente claws.
Right. They was in DC, so there was some West African shops somewhere in town. They want to go to them neighborhoods.
There's so many, bro. The least you could have did was buy from a black business, but no. You ordered it. You ironed it. I know they pressed them. I know the night before they was like, you gotta make sure the Kente cloth is pressed. Like, no, that's just like with the survivors from the
But before I'm gonna let you finish 1 second. But you know what? I feel bad for that, but I also like I've done something like that myself before in the past. I saw a dashiki for $12 at Ross before, and I bought it. So I'm not gonna hold it too much.
And you know what? I'm not gonna fault you for that. You know why? Because you are a black man who saw something that you affiliated with. These people are just doing this as symbolism, and they're just like pandering, trying to be like, oh, black people, we like. No, that's different. That's totally different. Right. I'm not gonna jump on you for that. You made a frugal decision.
Thank you. It was out of frugality. That's what it was.
You were thinking about your pockets, and I'm sure somewhere in that week that you bought something from a black business and you paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my pockets would have been a whole lot fatter if I had those reparations.
If I had what I was owed,
Where's my 40 acres and a mule?
bruh,
I don't even want to cut that much grass. I just want to say I have it.
Bruh, I'll take a llama, like a llama, a little goat. I actually really want to
I'll
pet
take some goats. I love goats.
I really want to pet goat.
I do feel bad though, because I did just go to this like Haitian spot in Silver Spring and had goat like a week and a half ago. So if I had a pet goat, it was kind of bad. Like, yo, I just ate your cousin, yo.
Listen, you said your grace, right? You think the goat for sacrificing his life for you to
Facts though.
that
was good.
Food? Yeah,
good too. There's some. Oh my gosh, bomb mac and cheese,
listen,
rice and peas.
When did you go?
Where or when?
No, when? Like this weekend? You said?
No, I went. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
So on Juneteenth, I made it a point to have dinner at a Black-owned business, and there's a Caribbean place not far from me that just opened, and I drove past it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go there." Got me some jerk chicken, rice and peas, rice and beans, some cocoa bread, some plantains. Let me tell you something. When they put their foot in that food, the jerk chicken legs was like this long. I was like, what
I was pissed off because they was out of cocoa bread at the place I went to. I really wanted it.
And that was my first time ever having cocoa bread. Never had cocoa bread before. And I knew it was gonna slap. I just needed the confirmation. And once you ever get home and you taste it and you just like, oh, like you don't even want to eat no more. You're like, bro, I just want to savor the moment. It was so much food. I ate it in 2 sittings because I couldn't.
That's how you know Black people enjoying the food that they eat. When they got to back away from the
food. They do this, when you see a Black person have before and they be, or they just stop.
We just take a bite. When other people like love their food, they keep eating the food. When we love our food, we stop eating our food. That's nah. I did go to a Caribbean spot in DC on Sunday, this past Sunday, the day after Juneteenth. It was cool. I did love the drinks there. I was a little bit disappointed in the food, but it was on Capitol Hill, so and it took forever to seat us. And I feel like they betrayed us because they told us that there was like a 35-minute wait, and yet there was like a group of white people that came in there and got to sit down before us. So I was like, I don't know if I really like these people. They Black, but they might not be like black.
I'm sorry. Back up. So you were waiting with your party, and a white party came, and they set them first.
Yeah.
And y'all still ate there.
Yeah, I was hungry. But no, it wasn't even for the food. It was really for the drinks because we really wanted. I was with a couple of people and they really wanted frozen drinks.
Right.
And there was the only bar like in that area.
And it was dumb hot
because my friend lived in Southeast, but like on like the end past the other side of Anacostia, like the real Southeast. Like Capitol Hill is still Southeast, but it's not Southeast.
Nah, that's not.
So they live over there and stuff. So we're over there chilling, and we're like, yo, we really want to do some day drinking or whatever. So they wanted like,
because why not? Because it's summertime.
Because why not? And they wanted frozen drinks. So I Googled places with frozen drinks near them, and that place popped up. And I had been there before at a couple years ago or something like that. And it's a Caribbean spot. So I was like, all right, let's go hit that. It was the only place with frozen drinks like in that area. So we were just like, oh, okay, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, it's not that bad.
Why not? Like,
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not tripping over 30 minutes. I'll go ahead and wait for 30 minutes. But it was just the fact that like during that 35 minutes, there was, another group of people that you told us there was a wait, but yet, they got to sit down. I was like,
The only way I would let that slide is if they had a reservation, but it doesn't sound like that they did. It sounds like they just walked in.
They were like, oh yeah, they were already on the wait list. But we saw them walk up. They didn't look like they was, they looked like they was on the street and just walked in, you know what I mean?
That sounds a little privileged to me.
Yeah.
But I think
probably like, do you know who my dad is?
My dad owns this whole block. Tell your daddy to eat a dick. But anyway.
I like 2021 Mickey. She a little slicker with the mouth this year.
Bro, listen, when the braces came up, I was like, bro, I can say anything I want, fam. You lucky
I got a list no more.
No, now I have a whole new list because the retainers, I have to wear them unless I'm eating or drinking something other than water. I really shouldn't be drinking this with it in. I got the Capri Sunny on deck.
Wait. Is that the kiwi strawberry?
No, I didn't.
That's how you know you a real nigga, yo. That's the flavor. That's the best Capri Sun,
I
yo.
purchased, yo. That's all I purchased.
That's the best Capri Sun. See, that's why I like single moms, because you get some coochie and a Capri Sun. You know what I'm saying? Woo!
Little Ray Ray like, damn it, he keep eating all the snacks.
Facts, hell yeah. Like, nigga, you don't need these Dunkaroos. What's up?
Yo, somebody today I saw was like, whoever bites and only put 4 muffins in there, your mom's a hoe. And I was like, bro, the little bites, they literally give you 4 little ass bites, and it's like a bunch of bits. Like, that's not a snack.
It's like one regular muffin.
Bro, that's not a snack. You will still be mad and hungry after that one bag.
Facts,
you gotta have like 2 bags to get like satisfied. But I was gonna bring back up as far as like symbolism for the I believe it was 3 or 4 of the Tulsa massacre survivors. They gave them Jordans and Oklahoma Thunder jerseys.
What?
Yes. You didn't see that?
I ain't never heard of this one. That sounds like the most ignorant.
Jordans? You giving these 90-some-year-old people, what the fuck they gonna do with Jordans?
Hopefully at least they was retros. They could have sold them.
Bro. It's the fact that they are almost a century old, right? They have been through God knows what. They survived the Tulsa massacre, and you gave these beautiful Black men and women Jordans and a Thunder jersey, and then y'all dance like that. That's not a slap in the. I was like, why are people happy? This is not. Why are y'all clapping? It was very much Kente cloth in the Capitol, and I was just like,
J Cloth in the Capitol. That might be the title of this episode.
Yeah, I was just like, no, absolutely not. I think the cool part about our generation is that we have social media, which is good and can also be bad, and not bad in a way that is all bad, but there's negativity that comes with social media. It's always
everything has its pros and cons.
Everything has its pros and cons. Social media is no different. Social media is also free. People can say and do what they want on their platform, and they have a right to do that. However, I think that as Black people in this generation, we have learned how to come together on certain topics and remind each other not to be so excited with the bare minimum for our people.
Right.
I got excited about Juneteenth becoming a holiday. I'm still happy. Like you said, it's not that I'm upset about it. I think that it was important, but you cannot give us a holiday and expect us to jump over the moon. We don't have the what is it, the lynching ban bill, or it's a lynching, I think it's a lynching bill, the anti-lynching bill. That hasn't been done. The George Floyd Act hasn't been signed. They don't want to teach the real truth in history class, which is to me the most important.
Because they don't even believe it is the real truth.
No. And to me, I'm not saying that it's more important than the George Floyd Act or the lynching bill, because it's not, but our children and our children's children, and the children are in school right now, they need to know that, because they taught us lies. And now we're going back and understanding that what we learned was a lie.
So theoretically, we made a national holiday to which a lot of students can't even understand the reason for the holiday in the first place. Yeah.
How are we going to tell them Happy Juneteenth? And they're like, well, what does that mean? And we're like, oh, this is when the slaves were really free. And they said, no, that was July 4th. You're miseducating students that are white, Black, Asians, everybody.
I know somebody who's like a year or two older than me, a white guy who I actually do. It was a former coworker of mine. He hit me up on Facebook, and he really thought Juneteenth was about the Emancipation Proclamation. And I had to, gently remind him. He was like, if the purpose of Juneteenth is to celebrate the freedom of slavery or the ending of slavery or something, why not, celebrate the day of the Emancipation Proclamation, or celebrate or make that the day, like, or something like that. I can't remember what exactly the wording was, but I had to gently remind him. I was like, Juneteenth has absolutely nothing to do with the Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation wasn't even really a law. It was just like a Lincoln went on stage and basically was like, y'all free now. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, and
the reason why attached to it was,
right.
Again, I learned this as an adult. I should have known this when I was a child. Not a lot of they told us. The only reason that he signed that bill was because the Confederacy had a lot of wealth from us. We built the Confederacy. We built the whole country, but it's like, it had nothing to do with him being empathetic towards a slave or caring.
No, his goal was to keep the Union together.
Exactly.
Keep the country
together. The country was divided, and that was the dividing factor of they still want slavery. They're killing us. Like, they got more people, you know what I mean? Like, it was, the slaves held a lot. I'm sorry, I take that back. The enslaved people, because we're not slaves. The enslaved people, our enslaved ancestors, were a big portion of why the Confederacy had as much power as it did, as much wealth as they did, and they able to attain so many things, because we were property.
That's why they were so mad, because the empires that they had built off the backs of free labor,
yes,
they no longer had free labor. So that's money that they had to pay for, and they realized, oh, we're not rich anymore.
Exactly.
So it was literally their lifestyle.
We brought all the prosperity on our backs, our the labor,
They wasn't trying to pick their own cotton. Come on, they wasn't trying to grow their own tobacco,
they weren't trying to till their own land. Niggas was like, not even
sugar crops, rice, all of that. Like, come on.
Like, who can we get to more niggas? That's what we're gonna get to do all this stuff. And then had the nerve to call us lazy. That's the point. I was like, bro, why are we late? We Black people shouldn't have to work another day in our lives. Just because all the work that our ancestors did, we shouldn't have to do shit. We should just show up and be like, all right, what you got for me?
Right.
Because they paid the debt. Just like Jesus paid the debt on the cross.
Okay. Okay.
Hotep Squidward agrees. Look at Hotep Squidward.
We're not gonna. I was trying to figure out what the hell your background was. I'm so glad you said something.
He judging all the white people that decided to put those.
That is Squidward Umdomo Jamea back there.
Squidward X. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
I think that the symbolism cannot overpower the real issues, and but what I was saying was, social media helps us remember. Don't get too excited about the symbols and the little small things.
I think it's also like, time and time again, we kind of just, it's like, you know, we give a dime but get back a nickel. You know what I mean? It's just like and I mean, it's still obviously only a few months into the presidency and everything. So I know it's very difficult to get anything changed in DC, you know, at the president's level. But it's just like, how quick, you know, when the Stop Asian thing happened, very few people had questioned it. Everybody was just like, boom, let's go ahead and do this. Everybody stop hating on Asian people, which you should. I have nothing negative to say about the anti-Asian hate, you know, bill or campaign or any of that. Dude, they should absolutely have stopped the hate against Asian people.
Of course.
They absolutely have passed that bill. But where was our bill when you have a Black female vice president with you, and, you know, you made your career, you got your platform because you were the vice president of a Black male in the White House the previous term.
Talk about
Black people, you know, were a big part of the reason why you got elected in the first place. We were your platform. Shout out to Stacey Abrams. You know what I'm saying? Like,
putting in work.
You know what I mean?
Putting in work.
Shout out to all the niggas in Philly that helped win Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, we were out here.
Showed up for y'all.
Right. So I'm saying, so there was real quick to pass the anti-Asian hate, but which they should have. But we've been campaigning for that exact same thing. Where is our bill? Why wasn't the George Floyd bill passed? Why wasn't the anti-lynching bill passed? Why can't the critical thing? You know what I mean? Yeah, the speed.
The speed of how it was passed. This is This is us asking for simple shit, and they like, nah, move, nigga. We gotta sign this. Like, we've been getting our asses whooped for centuries, and they was like, nah, but the Asians, they need our help. We like, yo,
Because everything in America is about money. And
exactly.
when you look at the demographics, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people think that white people are the richest people in America. It's not true. Just because you see the Forbes list that has Elon Musk and Bill Gates and all those type of people at the top, those might be the richest individuals in America or the world. But the actual richest demographic by race in the United States is Asians. When you look at the average Asian household, the median income is higher than the average white household.
Interesting.
Yeah, go ahead and Google it right now. I'll actually look. I'll show
Yeah. Teach us, Professor Bailey.
Average income by race demographic. Here we go. September 2020. Where is it? Bear with us for 1 second, everybody at home.
Mm-hmm. But no, just to piggyback.
Here we go.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. In 2019, the real median household income by race, Asian 2019, 98,174 between 2000 and 2019. So it actually rose. It was at 80,941 in 2002. And then by 2019, it was over 98,000. Meanwhile, the same for white people, $76,057. Then Hispanic coming in at over $56,000, and then Black at $46,000. So the richest demographic in America is who? Review?
Asian people.
Exactly. And who owns the largest amount of debt by the United States?
China.
Bingo. So when you combine those two facts, absolutely, not only should they have passed the Asian hate bill for moral reasons. I love my Asian brothers and sisters out there. Nothing against y'all at all. This is not any type of negative connotation towards you guys or shade towards you guys. You absolutely deserve to not be killed, to not be hated, all of that. But we also deserve the exact same thing. And I'm not about to play naive and act like those two things didn't also play a factor in the speed, which we're talking about, specifically the speed, like Mickey said, in which that got passed. You know what I'm saying?
It was less than a year.
If the roles were reversed and Black people had that much money,
what? They'd be like, we gotta fix. We can't be hurting. These niggas got the bag. And that's the other thing too. When you take the emotion out of things, right? Because somebody would say, "Oh, well, you can't say that. You can't say that because that's making it seem like, that's making it seem as if you are prejudiced against Asian people." It's not.
Not at all.
This is the emotional part of that is out. We're not saying that. We're saying that if you want to go back to at the time when Black people were enslaved to now, you've had Jim Crow. You have now like the Voting Act where it's like, stuff's getting all messed up. You have the prison, the school to prison pipeline, the prison industrial system, all of those things. You have redlining. You have stuff that goes back from me and our parents, our parents' parents, their parents, then our grandparents. And we are still suffering from those same things now. Systematic racism has never gone anywhere. It's always been here. We just are able to identify.
The first Black woman in America to attend an integrated school with white people is who?
Her name, I know her name, and I know
Ruby
her.
Bridges. I'll save you.
Yes, I'm about to say it starts with an R.
Ruby Bridges.
Yeah.
Mickey is slipping today, y'all. Anyways, I'm
She's the
just
same
kidding.
age as my mother.
I was gonna say that's the point I was getting at. Ruby Bridges, and when did that happen? In the 1960s.
Right.
Both of my parents are older. Were born before schools were
Well, no, my
integrated.
mother's born 63. Sorry, Mom.
My mom. Well,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
want to
like, I
say.
ain't that old.
I don't want to say the years my parents
No,
were.
don't say that. Don't get
whatever.
slapped.
But just know my parents were born before schools were integrated in the United States of America. Now they were
Right.
obviously, at least one of my parents was too young to have, experienced that. But the other one, most likely by that time that rolled around, most likely at least attended a couple of years, But either way, that's all I'm trying to say. When people act like the stuff that we're talking about is ancient history,
So
long
long
ago,
ago.
whatever. You
And
had slavery, you had Jim Crow, and the Reconstruction era. Then you
Right.
had civil rights immediately after that, right?
Right.
Because we're not going to skip over. So obviously, if slavery ends in the 1860s, right, you still have close to 40 years in the 1800s left, but we're still not going to skip over the first 50 years of the U.S. history between 1900 and 1950, because when you talk about civil rights, you're usually talking about the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, but there's still a weird era that's like, still weird in between Jim Crow and civil rights that I feel like kind of needs its own specific category.
It has no
They kind of lump it into
label.
right. They kind of lump it in with Jim Crow, but it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? And where lynching was still very much prevalent, shootings, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Abductions, people disappearing, people being, just like we talked about Mississippi burning, people being abducted, children being taken, and it's like there's nothing they could do. Sundown towns, which I didn't learn about until I was
I learned like a couple years ago what that was.
Last year. During Lovecraft Country. I didn't know what a sundown town was. And remember when we had the blurs on, they said there's still
there's still some out there.
Still towns now that are sundown towns. And I'm like,
think about this fact. They integrated pro baseball. When did Jackie Robinson break the color barrier in baseball?
Come on, man. Don't do this. I don't know.
1947.
Shut up.
1947.
No,
Mickey, I'm gonna stop quizzing Mickey. 1947.
You already done it twice.
They integrated pro football in 1946, technically, right? So you had people like Marion Motley and different things like that.
Can I make a point?
Sure.
I know I should know that, but I don't really care about either of those sports, so I wouldn't know that. Okay.
But it's still history. It's
Black history.
Jackie Robinson, you should actually know though. I don't care if you don't watch it.
I never watched.
You should. You don't have to watch the movie. That was a fact. But that was just something they brought up in school.
My school told me that it wasn't no black people in baseball and niggas had to stay in the house.
Your school, for everybody who doesn't know this at home, Mickey went to the school that Remember the Titans was from. Okay.
Well, this was elementary school. That's how
I know, but I'm just saying they should have taught y'all some of this stuff, and at least in that school of all the schools, because that's they in a big integration in 1971. But anyways, so I make this point: Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in baseball in 1947. Ruby Bridges integrated schools in the 1960s. It was about 15 years, between 15 and 20 years between that gap. Think about that. They were okay with niggas playing sports before they were okay with us going to school with them.
With other white people. Right.
This is how important education is. When people say education isn't that important, school isn't that important, school isn't for everybody. Nigga, yes it is. It's important. If it wasn't so important, they wouldn't have held knowledge back from the slaves, from the kids in the civil rights movement. They didn't even want niggas to read because they know how powerful the mind is when it comes to acquiring knowledge and learning knowledge, right? Because they figured if they could read, they could understand their culture. They're going to learn
their own history. Yes.
Education is super important. And so we got to factor all of these things in when these little symbolic gestures like Juneteenth becoming a national holiday is thrown out at us, because it's basically just like, here's some crumbs. Well, nigga, we deserve the dinner. Okay, forget the crumbs. We want the entree.
We want the whole estate.
The entree, the appetizer, the apps, the hors d'oeuvres, the dessert. Just give it to us.
The Casamigos that's being chilled.
Right.
That too. We want the Casamigos.
Give it to black people before black people decide to take it. I'm trying to warn you guys.
But that's
trying to warn you.
ultimately, and that's the part that I think people are not realizing. The revolution is coming. I don't feel like it's gonna be
one of the most powerful quotes out there.
The revolution will not be televised.
Well, but one of the most powerful quotes out there is that it's a good thing black people want equality as opposed to revenge.
Yes. But now we kind of want revenge a little bit.
I was trying to be deep and leave it on a real cool note, but you just ruined that moment.
No, because it's getting between the Karens and the Kens, harassing people, calling the police on black people, on black children for nothing. I saw a video where it was a white woman in a condominium and the black woman had her, she was, he'd access to get in the building. The white woman's blocking her from getting in, talking about show me your ID, show me where you live, I'm not letting you in the building. And she's bargaining with this woman about her living there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. It's 11 o'clock at night and I'm tired, I just got off work. If you don't move out the way, Karen, like they're going back and stuff like that happens all the time.
All the time.
And we have to just sit down and
you don't believe us? Take a walk in a really rich white neighborhood.
Like
don't even have an agenda. Just literally walk up and down all the blocks.
Yes, but it goes past the police brutality. It goes past racial profiling from the police. This is regular, everyday Caucasians that think that they are the law, that think they are the keeper of niggas, and they get to tell us what to do, and they don't. And it's like, I think people try to minimize it, like you said, and make it seem like all of these, the Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Movement, Jim Crow, all that stuff was so long ago. It wasn't. And it upsets me because we tolerate a lot of it and we try to take the high road and they still act like we y'all.
See, the thing is, everybody always likes to get upset and call like white people, complainers, call black people never satisfied, different things like that. They love to bring up, the question is like, why do you guys always got to make everything about race? Because it's always about race.
Because y'all do that.
Right. So
right. They started
that. Let's, I feel like we've been on here long enough. It's glad to be back. Thank you guys for supporting the Good and Terrible show as always. I'm going to repeat it because Mickey ruined the first moment. So I'm going to repeat it one more time and we can end it like that. But imagine if black people didn't want equality instead of revenge. Just think about that for a second. Think about that. From those of us here at the Good and Terrible show, y'all have an amazing Juneteenth.